Hello, it's me, Claire. I am back on this testing sobriety channel to give you an update. I had a comment from a viewer asking if I'm still sober or had I fallen off the wagon. So thank you for checking in with me. But yes, I am still on the wagon. So it has been 2 months. Well, it will be 2 months tomorrow that I have not had a drink. I'm filming today because tomorrow I'll be on night shift and I might not have a chance to film. So looking at I've got an app, I Am Sober, I think it's called, and I've worked out how much my average daily spend on alcohol was. I included Uber's alcohol that I might buy from the supermarket and alcohol that I would buy in the pub, and I looked across a few months and worked out average. So my rough daily spend on alcohol, including the non-alcoholic days, I didn't drink every day, was about £10. So at this point I have saved £610 in British sterling, which is amazing. I mean, that's great, isn't it? And so there's one positive. At 2 months in, I'm definitely feeling good. I'm loving, having a clear head all the time. I'm loving waking up hangover free. I did think I might become a morning person, but I think that was a step too far. I am not a morning person, and not drinking doesn't make me a morning person. It certainly makes me feel better in the morning because you remove that dehydration, which is awful, and that sluggishness. Even if you haven't got a hangover, that sluggishness, that sort of foggy, slow feeling is gone. I'm still a bit slow. I'm slow in the mornings, definitely. I need to sit down with my cup of coffee for a good hour before I feel like doing anything. But yeah, I think what I would say on reflection is that I probably had higher expectations for not drinking. I think I thought it was like the magic button and I would press it and straight away my life was just going to be way better. And I think that was probably a silly expectation. The main thing I think I expected was to lose weight. I thought that because I wasn't drinking anymore, that all those calories I would lose weight, but actually I think I wasn't drinking really high calorie drinks. So beer wasn't my main drink or wine. I was mostly drinking spirits with slimline drinks. Gin and slimline tonic, vodka and Diet Coke. They were my main drinks. So they weren't really heavy on the calories. And the side effect of me drinking is that usually the next day I don't have much of an appetite. I know some people are ravenous when they've got a hangover, but me, if I'm actually hungover, which was probably half the time I was drinking, or thereabouts, maybe not quite that much, but generally speaking, I would just feel nauseous. And if I was properly hungover, then I couldn't eat, I couldn't even drink, even though I was dehydrated. If I drank, I'd throw it back up. So that I think kept me from gaining weight. And I'd get on the scales in the morning with a hangover, and because I'm so dehydrated that the numbers would go down because I've probably no water inside of me. So I'm sure I am healthier, but I have gained weight. I think my appetite really instantly went right up. I was just eating more volume of food. I think I've leveled out now, but the problem is I've had a 10-day holiday that was full board where I couldn't resist the desserts. So I'm not doing that again. I can't resist desserts. So self-catering for me in future. And then I've just had a weekend at my dad's. We had a big meal out and there was treats and snacks and lunches and stuff. So I am starting now to focus on my weight, my health. I don't want it to be purely on my weight, but that is a way I can measure it. So my main focus now is to be more organised with cooking and shopping, or in the opposite order, shopping and cooking. If I've got healthy food in, then I'm much more likely to eat healthy food. So that's my goal, and to walk more, just to get out more, which I'm really trying to do. So that is my goal. I'm not going on any faddy diet. They don't work. They've never worked for me. I might lose weight for a while, but then as soon as you come off of any diet or any restrictions, your weight goes back up again. So for me, it's all about, I've got to focus on being organized, shopping, cooking, and just conscious eating, not not too much of the naughty stuff. So that's my plan now. I focus on that fully because I feel settled in the not drinking side of things, which is great. And I wanted to tell you, I had my first sober date. So in the past, my dating would look like I'm meeting someone for drinks, and usually you're always going to have a few drinks, and then that of course affects your ability to assess that person and to assess your compatibility, because you just get pissed and just have a laugh and you're not really thinking too much. I have had sober dates, I've had coffee dates and things like that in the past, but this was a sober evening date in a pub. So we met in a nice pub and had non-alcoholic beers and a really lovely conversation, lots of laughter, and hit it off quite well. So fingers crossed, I think there's a next date on the horizon, or that's what we both said we want. So, wish me luck. He's a very nice, attractive man. So that's good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to know someone without compromising myself by drinking too much. And the thing was, actually what I wanted to say was, I really didn't want to do dating sites. I've done them on and off over the years, and even if I have ended up in a relationship because of them, that relationship's never been good. And whether I put that down to the fact that it was a dating site, or that I was drinking on, virtually from the first date, and therefore not really, and kind of getting into relationships I probably shouldn't have got into. So this time I thought, because I think I just had a moment, and I thought I'll just give it another go. So this time I put on there that I am not drinking, and I'd like to meet someone who doesn't drink or very rarely drinks, because I know myself, I'm quite easily influenced, and if I was to meet someone who was a regular drinker, I would end up just drinking with them. I know myself well enough. So I thought it was really important, if I'm going to meet someone, if they also don't drink, I'm much more likely to stick with not drinking. So, and that will keep me on track, because it wouldn't be fair to get into a relationship with someone who doesn't drink and then for me to start drinking, because no one likes being around a drunk when you are sober. It is not fun. So yeah, so that's exciting. See what becomes of it. And yeah, so let's think, what other positives have we got? I mean, just generally, I said before, I'm a bit more productive. I'm not wasting the time that I was wasting, the drinking time, and then the recovery time was taking such a large portion of my life. Now I have loads of time. I'm reading a lot. I'm really getting into reading. I love reading on holiday, but sometimes when I'm home, I don't read so much, but I have really just been reading so much, and I find it such a nice thing to do, to sit on the sofa in the evening, have a candle and just read my book, maybe pick up my phone and we all do it, check stuff and sometimes play a little game. My dad just got me into this game. It's called Tiles. It's probably well known, sort of like Japanese symbols on tiles, and you like try to match three. It's quite addictive, so I've started doing that as well. Very much wanting to the whole philosophy of use it or lose it when it comes to our physical health and our mental health. I really want to stretch my brain, I want to use the muscles in my brain. I did sign up to Spanish lessons. I told you about that. Unfortunately, I got a text message the other day, due to lack of interest, they've had to cancel them. So that's not happening, but I am listening to a Spanish audiobook, which is really good. So I'll just keep doing that for now. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think if I was going to give advice to anyone that is looking to, like, really wants to quit drinking, I would say that the positives completely outweigh any negatives you might be expecting. And you can do things to make your life more interesting once you've removed that element that to you feels like fun. You can start to do other things with your life that will replace the drinking activities. And the time that you get back and your health, of course, is amazing. I would say you want to listen to Quit Lit, which is stuff like this. People on YouTube telling you the positive outcomes that they are in receipt of because they're not drinking. I would definitely listen to the audiobook I listened to by Annie Grace, The Naked Mind. I've been recommended one, I think it's Alan Carr, I've forgotten the name of the book, but I'll probably get that at some point. I'm actually re-listening to the Annie Grace book because one thing I will say is every now and then I have moments where I haven't had a moment where I think I want to drink now, but I think about something in the future and I find it hard to imagine doing that without a drink. So for example, I saw a festival come up advertised on Facebook and I really like the look of it, but imagining going to it and not drinking was a bit daunting. It kind of made me feel sad. So, you know, that was that made me realise I could probably do with listening to this book again, because once it's reiterated into my brain all the terrible things that alcohol does to our brains and our bodies, and the risk that we take of dementia and cancer and all the other diseases that you can get because you are drinking poison on a regular basis. I think once you reiterate that to yourself, your resolve strengthens. And so I started listening to that again. I also one night I put it on quite quiet and went to sleep to it, and I don't know whether that way it will go into my subconscious, so I might try that again as well. But yeah, I'd say the positives absolutely outweigh any negatives. There aren't really any negatives. I mean, no one ever woke up and said, I wish I was drinking last night. No one ever woke up and said, I wish I had more to drink last night. I don't think you ever regret not drinking when you look back. The only regret you might have is looking towards that night or being on that night when other people are drinking. You might regret that you can't drink, or you've told yourself you're not drinking. But the next day, you will not regret not drinking. You will be so pleased with yourself when you wake up with a fresh head and you see someone posting on Facebook that they're dead. You know, you'll be so glad you're not the one with your head down the toilet, feeling nauseous, feeling tired, maybe not even making it into work, or all of those things. So yeah, I am very pleased with myself, pleased as punch that I am doing this, and I'm definitely going to keep going on. I was talking to my friend and she was saying, what's your plan for the future? How long are you going to keep this up for? And I said, well, maybe forever. And sort of debating, I might have some very strict rules around a special event, maybe, you know, with a certain amount limit on how much I can drink, and making sure there is a rare occasion. But that's something it's a bridge I'm going to cross when I come to it, because I know that some people say that you just can't do it in moderation. It's always gonna snowball, because that's the effect that alcohol has on your brain. I always go like this, 'cause it's like in here, in that front, was it near frontal cortex? It's in the front of your brain where you make your decisions. So you can start off saying, right, I'm only drinking 3 drinks. But unfortunately, when you drink 3 drinks, you have numbed that frontal cortex, which is the decision-making part of your brain. It's also the part that regulates your morals and inhibitions. So once you've had 3 drinks, you don't care anymore about the rules that you put on yourself. You'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, I'll just have 1 more, or I'll just have a few more, because I'm all right. And so, yeah, who knows what the future holds in terms of whether I can do this long term. But I definitely don't ever want to go back to binge drinking. And any of that, because there were some sorry states of affair going on in my life, and I know that I'm not the only one. I know you're watching this for a reason, and yeah, I feel compassion for myself, because what's done is done. I've made my mistakes. Hopefully now I can keep going and learn from them finally at 46 years old. And hopefully if you're watching this is helpful to you. If it is, don't forget to give me a little thumbs up. That would be really kind of you. Keep going and keep yourself accountable. Comment below so we can know that where you're at, what day are you on, what year are you on. Some of your comments have been so amazing. Some of you have done years and years and years with no drinking. Really great comments. I think I would urge you, don't listen to me only. Do listen to me, but don't just listen to me. Read the comments. Very, very inspiring. So thank you so much if you have commented, and please do, if you haven't done already, do comment down below where you're at in your sobriety, because it's inspiring and it's helpful to everyone else that's reading those comments. That's all for me. Bye.